10 industries billionaires are investing in 2022. Current global wealthiest individuals number 2,755. Around 600 of them hit it big economically in the past year alone. During the pandemic, several of them became significantly wealthier, with Elon Musk at the head of the pack, having his wealth nearly double. US startups have raised about $240 billion this year. You may assume that much of their wealth was amassed through investments and technology, but a closer look reveals a much wider range of sectors in which billionaires are placing their money. By the end of this video, you'll have solid understanding of the 2022 predictions of the rich and how you can follow in their footsteps. So let's get the party started. Number 1. Immortality. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but the number of anti-aging companies is growing. What is Jeff Bezos up to now that he is no longer Amazon's CEO? Injecting capital into Altos Lab, a company developing biotechnology to make individuals seem younger. While scientists work to reimagine death, billionaires research ways to extend their own lives so they can spend more time basking in the fruits of their labor and building even greater fortunes. Number 2. Tech. As expected, technology remains a top priority. However, a very fascinating development has emerged. The sum raised by US startups this year of over $240 billion set a new benchmark. There has never been such a rapid proliferation of new businesses. The global pandemic is the primary explanation for this. Most of these new businesses are founded by tech experts, and their primary goal is to improve the quality of life for those who perform their duties from home. Just consider how large Zoom has gotten. It is predicted that this pattern will carry on in the foreseeable future with a continued emphasis on telecommuting. Number 3. Retail. According to Bill Ackman, those in retail are in the wealthiest of the rich. For a brief digression, we consider the retail sector. Whether it's the Waltons in the United States, the owner of IKEA in Sweden, or the family behind Indiglo Japan, Inditex chain in Spain. The richest people in the world are always retail magnates. Fixing a shop or finding a successful business model that can be replicated is arguably the best method to generate income. There is a strong correlation between retail and the wealthiest households in the United States. The intriguing point is that once NFTs become commonplace, the retail industry will be completely transformed. Many well-known companies are entering the market for digital goods, despite the fact this is one of the most competitive markets in which to launch a product. Right-clicking on the images to save them as JPEGs is something you make fun of, but others are making millions of dollars doing so. Number 4. Services. People tend to think very far ahead when pondering the next big event. Everything from flying automobiles and teleportation to online videos hosted on YouTube. Who can predict what the future holds for advertisements? On the other hand, the simplification of complex processes frequently results in substantial financial gains. Here, we'll examine DoorDash. Considering it's a $2.1 billion price tag, this delivery app is surprisingly basic. They tapped into a lucrative industry, simplified the process, and ultimately emerged victorious, leaving backers flush with cash. When there is an opportunity to invest in something that will make people's lives easier, billionaires will not hesitate to do so. Number 5. Real estate. If you're looking for a safe investment, this is it. Since banks are so eager to grant loans, a repeat of the financial crisis of 2007 is possible. Though you make a compelling case, it's not hard to forecast which areas prices will skyrocket if the predicted sea levels materialize and Miami becomes Atlantis. since Cuba enabled telecommuting. Is this the new normal? You can get by just fine without shelling out a $3,500 per month that a closet in New York will cost. It seems like we may be the earliest stages of a real estate revolution. As more and more real estate opportunities emerge, also, how about the virtual property market? When a player purchases virtual real estate in the form of non-fungible token, they are analogous to Adidas purchasing a virtual real estate in the game's sandbox. I mean, you're right. Indeed, you are correct. Likely, it's nothing to worry about. Number 6, the most interesting one, cybersecurity. Some of any company's operations will take place online. Data breaches, hacks, scams, and other unpleasant events are all in the news every week. You can count on hearing about them from your reliable provider of data protection services. It should come as no surprise that the cybersecurity is being watched closely by the world's richest people. Global spending on cybersecurity is expected to rise by 7 to 14% over the next 5 years and will likely continue to rise beyond that. It's a long-term bet, and major cybersecurity companies are beginning to emerge. Number 7, the electronic vehicle industry. Not only the electric vehicles are the future of personal transportation, but also of freight delivery. The very first fully electric cargo ship is set to sail in just a few days ago. The market for gasoline-powered automobiles is rapidly declining. Countries like Norway have recently banned the sale of gas-powered vehicles after the 2025. As we all know, Katie Wood's 2020 bet on Tesla was a historic investment, and we all know how it turned out. It will be exciting to see who comes out on top in the race toward fully electric vehicles. Number 8, the space industry. Okay, billionaires in space may seem funny right now, but how about space travel business? Now that's something worth talking about. If there's any silver lining to the billionaire space race, it's the understanding that the space flight isn't as far as off once we thought. Imagine if a firm was to launch that would make space travel accessible to the masses, pretty much everything has ended. Russia has long-term intentions to construct a nuclear power plant on the Red Planet. As an aid, do you have any idea who Mars owner is in the universe? Everybody. No one may claim ownership over any celestial body. This is a provision of an international space treaty. Number 9, crypto, blockchain, and DeFi. When Coinbase went public last year, the company was valued at $86 billion. Many early investors reaped huge financial rewards. Institutional investors, including as banks and even whole nations like El Salvador, are also increasingly buying cryptocurrency on every dip. Do you know that El Salvador is going to be the site of a cryptocurrency metropolis? It will be fascinating to observe how it plays out. Many people think that DeFi, or decentralized finance, is the future of the financial sector. Mark Cuban, a billionaire investor, thinks that DeFi will be a serious danger to the banking industry. Number 10, the metaverse. The creation of the metaverse required billions of dollars in funding from investors. The gaming, augmented reality, and virtual worlds businesses will be the ones to keep an eye on in the years to come. A total of almost $10 billion has been invested in 612 agreements, making this as an extremely attractive market. We are at the very beginning of this revolution, and the changes will be subtle at first. But once the destination is made apparent, things will move at a far faster clip. All of our methods of operations will have to be revised as these technologies converged. A new epoch has begun.